The story of King Jabari and the three playful princesses. Once upon a time, in a land bathed in golden sunlight and echoing with joyous laughter, there was a village so picturesque it seemed plucked from a dream. This village was ruled by King Jabari, a beloved leader known for his wisdom and kindness. His heart was as vast as the savannah, embracing everyone and ensuring their happiness and safety. King Jabari had a large and loving family. His first wife, Abeni, blessed him with 3 daughters, princesses as radiant as the morning sun. His second wife, Nia, gave him 2 sons, future kings of the land. The princesses, Zara, Laila, and Amora, were known for their playful hearts. Every day, they would dash barefooted out of the palace, their laughter ringing through the air. They splashed water in the river, got muddy, and messed up their hair, caring little for their appearance but loving every moment of their freedom. However, not everyone approved of their wild ways. "They are too unruly," people whispered. "Why don't they behave like royalty?" These comments worried their mother, Abeni, who often sat them down with a soft but firm voice, saying, "You are princesses, my dears. It's time to act like it." But the princesses would just giggle and run off, their spirits as free as the wind. They wanted to play, explore, and love the land they would one day oversee. Some villagers called them foolish. "Why can't they see they are not like us?" they would say. But the princesses didn't mind. They believed being true to oneself was more important than wearing a crown. So, despite their mother's worries and the villagers' whispers, they continued to dance with the world, their hearts wild and free. Every year, the village held a grand festival where the princesses' brothers would find brides. The village square came alive with colors, music, and the sweet aroma of festival foods. Beautiful girls from near and far came in their finest dresses, hoping to catch the prince's eyes. But the 3 princesses watched from a palace window, their thoughts far away from the glitter and gold. When men came asking for their hands in marriage, the princesses always found reasons to say no. "He's too proud," one would say. "He thinks his gold can buy love," another would sigh. Even when a very wealthy man from a distant village came with numerous gifts, they simply shook their heads. When he said he wanted to marry all 3 to make his 7 wives, they splashed water on him. This caused quite a stir in the village. "How foolish," people said, turning away all these rich and powerful men. Their parents, King Jabari and Queen Abeni, were puzzled and a bit sad. "Why won't you marry?" they asked. "Your brothers are ready, and you are the elders." But the princesses only smiled and said, "When we find true love, we will know." The festival for their brothers was beautiful, with maidens dancing and laughing, trying to catch the prince's eyes. Though the princesses admired the courage of these girls, their hearts longed for something different. They didn't want a love found in a day, they wanted a love that understood them, that saw beyond their crowns. As the seasons changed and the moon danced through the sky, the princesses grew into beautiful young women. They watched the leaves turn from green to gold, thinking about love and what it meant to them. They saw their brothers happy with their brides and felt a stirring in their hearts. Maybe it was time to open their hearts to love, but it had to be true love, the kind that saw them for who they really were. One evening, under a sky filled with stars, the princesses went to their father, King Jabari, with a request. "Father," they said, their voices echoing with hope, "we want a festival of our own, where men can show us their talents and skills. We want to find love, but it must be true love." King Jabari looked into their eyes, seeing the earnestness shining back at him. He knew his daughters were different, their spirits free and wild. First, he thought this was not a part of the land's tradition, but then he thought maybe this was their way of finding love. With a nod and a heart full of hope, he agreed. "Let there be a festival," he announced, and the village stirred with excitement once more. Word spread like wildfire from the corners of the village to lands far away. Suitors prepared to win the hearts of the 3 princesses. They practiced their skills, polished their talents, and dreamt of love. The village buzzed with anticipation. Tailors sewed fine clothes, chefs prepared feasts, and musicians tuned their instruments. This was going to be a festival like no other. The princesses watched as the village transformed. They saw the eagerness in the suitors' eyes and the joy in the villagers' hearts. They didn't know what the festival would bring, but they felt a flutter of excitement in their own hearts. Maybe, just maybe, among the jesters, poets, and warriors, they would find the ones who could see beyond the crowns. As the day of the festival drew near, the air filled with a sense of wonder. The princesses looked at each other, their smiles saying what words could not. They were ready to step into the unknown, ready to find love, but only if it was true. The village waited, the suitors readied themselves, and the stars watched from above. It was the beginning of something magical, something that could change their lives forever. The day of the grand festival arrived, shining bright with the sun's smile. The village square was alive, buzzing like a beehive with excitement. Men from the village and lands far away came, their hearts set on winning the princesses. They came dressed in their finest, muscles gleaming, smiles wide, and gifts in hand. Some brought gold, others boasted of their lands, and many showed off their strength and beauty, each hoping to catch the eye of a princess. The princesses watched quietly, their eyes sparkling with mischief. They saw the efforts of the suitors, each trying to outdo the other. But deep in their hearts, they knew that gold and strength were not what they sought. They wanted someone who could see beyond the surface, who could understand their hearts. So, as the sun began to dip, casting golden light across the village, the princesses stood before the crowd. "We have a challenge," they announced, their voices clear and strong. "To win our hearts, you must do more than show your wealth or strength. You must guess our real names." A hush fell over the crowd. Names. But who knew the princesses' names? They were known far and wide as the three playful princesses, their real names a mystery lost to all. The suitors were stunned. Guess their names. It was a task that seemed impossible. They had prepared to show their might and wealth, not to guess names. Murmurs spread through the crowd, a mix of confusion and curiosity. How could they find the names of the princesses? But the princesses stood firm, their challenge hanging in the air like a riddle. It was a test not of wealth or strength but of wisdom and patience. They wanted to see who would look beyond the titles, who would take the time to truly know them. The village buzzed with questions. How will they find the names? Is it a quest, a puzzle? The suitors looked at each other, their confidence shaken. The princesses watched, a smile playing on their lips. They had turned the tables, challenging the suitors to look beyond the surface, to seek a deeper connection. As the festival ended, the suitors left with their minds buzzing. They had come to show off their best, only to be met with a challenge they had not expected. The princesses had shown their cleverness, making it clear that they sought a love that was true, a love that saw beyond the crowns and the titles. The village whispered of the princesses' test, wondering who, if anyone, could rise to the challenge. It was a story that would be told for days to come, a tale of three princesses who sought love in their own unique way. The challenge had been set, and now it was up to the suitors to find the answers. In the village, where everyone was busy guessing and whispering about the princesses' challenge, there lived a man named Kofi. Kofi was known to all, but not for reasons one might expect. He was the village drunkard, often seen stumbling and mumbling, his days spent in a haze of laughter and wine. Most considered him foolish, a man of no consequence. But beneath the surface, there was more to Kofi than met the eye. When Kofi heard about the princess's challenge, something stirred within him. He saw what others didn't, a chance, a glimmer of hope. Why not me, he thought. Why can't I win the hearts of the princesses? So with a determination that surprised even himself, Kofi set out on a quest to discover the true names of the three princesses. Day after day, Kofi followed the princesses, not too close, just a shadow among the trees. He watched them laugh and play, their spirits as free as the birds above. But no matter how closely he listened, their names remained a mystery. They called each other by nicknames, their bond a secret language of smiles and glances. Then one day, fate took a hand. As the princesses wandered near the forest edge, the youngest, full of joy and mischief, didn't see the hidden pit before her. With a gasp and a tumble, she fell in, her laughter turning to cries of fright. "Help!" she cried, her voice echoing through the trees. "Please, someone!" Kofi, hidden behind a bush, watched in shock. This was his chance, not to win a challenge, but to do something good, something right. But before he could move, he heard the eldest princess shout, "Zara, to the rescue." Then the middle one, "Lila's coming too." Kofi's eyes widened. Names. The names of the princesses spilled like precious gems. He watched as Zara and Lila worked together, finding a long stick to help their sister. "Hold on, Amora," they called, their voices filled with love and concern. With a heave and a pull, the sisters lifted Amora from the pit, their arms wrapping around her in a tight hug. Kofi, hidden still, felt warmth in his heart. He had found their names, but he had also seen the love they shared, a love that went beyond any challenge. Filled with new resolve, Kofi stepped out from his hiding place, his heart beating like a drum. He knew what he had to do. With a shout that carried across the village, he declared, "I know their names. Zara, Lila, Amara." The village turned in astonishment. Kofi, the one they called a fool, had done what none could. He had discovered the secret that lay at the heart of the challenge. It was a moment of triumph, not just for Kofi, but for the princesses too. They had found someone who saw beyond the games, someone who had taken the time to truly know them. As the news spread, the village buzzed with excitement. Kofi, once the village drunkard, was now the talk of the town. His strategy, born of patience and observation, had revealed the true names of the princesses. It was a story that would be told for generations, a tale of unexpected heroism and the power of looking beyond appearances. As the village gathered, eyes wide and whispers loud, Kofi stood before King Jabari, the princesses by his side. The air was thick with anticipation. Kofi, once thought a mere village drunkard, held the attention of all. "I know the names of your daughters," he declared proudly. "Zara, Lila, Amara." But Kofi had one more surprise, a secret that would change everything. "I am not who you think I am," he began, his voice steady and strong. "I am Prince Kofi from a neighboring village. I came here not as a fool, but in disguise, to learn the true hearts of your daughters." The village gasped, eyes turning from Kofi to the princesses, then back again. The man they had mocked was a prince, wise and cunning, who had seen past the game to the truth beneath. The princesses smiled at Kofi, their eyes shining with respect and something deeper, a connection forged in understanding and kindness. They had seen many suitors, men of wealth and strength, but none had sought to know them as Kofi had. He had shown wisdom, seen beyond titles and appearances, to the heart of who they were. King Jabari, moved by Kofi's revelation and his daughter's happiness, agreed to the marriages. "You have proven yourself wise and true," he said to Kofi, "worthy of my daughters." The weddings were like no other, celebrations that filled the village with music, laughter, and joy. Zara, Lila, and Amora, the three princesses once thought foolish, stood proudly beside Prince Kofi, their hearts united in love and respect. As the princesses set off with Prince Kofi to begin their new lives, the village was left in a state of wonder. They had judged the princesses and Kofi, labeling them foolish without truly seeing their hearts. But love, as the princesses and Kofi showed, was not about titles or appearances, but about understanding, respect, and seeing the true worth of a person. The story of the three princesses and Prince Kofi became a legend, a tale of wisdom, equality, and the power of love. It was a reminder to all that true nobility comes not from birth or wealth, but from the wisdom of the heart and the courage to see beyond the surface. And so, as the sun set on the village, casting a golden glow over the land, the people whispered of the day's wonders, their hearts filled with a new understanding. The princesses and Prince Kofi, now bound by love and wisdom, journeyed forward, their futures bright with promise, leaving behind a village forever changed by the lessons of their tale. I hope you enjoyed the tale. If so, please like the video, comment, share it with your family and friends, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell for more enchanting tales like this one. Goodbye.